Welcome to the natural wonders of the world. Explore an extraordinary journey through Mexico, a land where ancient civilizations whisper secrets through stone pyramids, where turquoise Caribbean waters kiss pristine white sand beaches, and where vibrant cultures color every corner with life, music, and unforgettable flavors. Mexico stretches across nearly 2 million square kilometers of North America, bordered by the United States to the north and Guatemala and Belize to the south. This magnificent country is embraced by both the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico, creating a diverse tapestry of landscapes that range from snow-capped volcanoes to tropical rainforests, from vast deserts to lush cenotes. But Mexico isn't just about breathtaking geography. It's a cultural kaleidoscope where 3,000 years of history blend seamlessly with modern innovation. From the mighty Aztec and Maya civilizations to Spanish colonial influences, from indigenous traditions that still thrive today to contemporary Mexican creativity, this nation offers layers of discovery that will leave you forever changed. Here's a question I want you to ponder as we embark on this journey together. What if I told you that the destinations we're about to explore could completely change your perception of history, culture, and natural beauty? What if these places hold the key to experiences that will last a lifetime? Before you explore these magical destinations, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications, because I'll be sharing insider secrets and hidden gems you won't find in any guidebook. And don't forget to check out the links in the description below for exclusive deals on flights and accommodations that will make your Mexican adventure both affordable and memorable. Mexico City. Mexico City, or as locals call it, Ciudad de Mexico, or simply CDMX. This incredible city sits at 2,240 meters above sea level in the Valley of Mexico, making it one of the highest capital cities in the world. Mexico City is built upon the ruins of Tenochtitlan, the great Aztec capital that once rose from the waters of Lake Texcoco. Today, this urban giant sprawls across 1,485 square kilometers and is home to over 21 million people in its metropolitan area, making it the largest Spanish-speaking city in the world. The city is surrounded by mountains and volcanoes, including the famous Popocatépetl and Iztaccíhuatl, which create a dramatic backdrop against the urban skyline. The culture of Mexico City is like a living museum where pre-Hispanic traditions dance with Spanish colonial heritage and modern Mexican innovation. Walk through any neighborhood, and you'll hear the musical blend of languages, Spanish mixed with indigenous Nahuatl words that have survived centuries. The city pulses with the rhythm of mariachi music, the aroma of street food vendors, and the vibrant colors of traditional markets like Mercado de la Ciudadela. Founded in 1325 by the Aztecs as Tenochtitlan, this city has witnessed the rise and fall of empires. The Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés arrived in 1519, leading to the fall of the Aztec Empire in 1521. From those ashes, colonial Mexico City was born, becoming the capital of New Spain. After Mexico's independence in 1821, it became the heart of the new nation, surviving wars, revolutions, and transformations to become the modern megalopolis we see today. The historic center, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, houses the magnificent Metropolitan Cathedral and the National Palace with Diego Rivera's stunning murals depicting Mexican history. The ancient Templo Mayor ruins sit just steps away, where you can literally touch Aztec stones. Chapultepec Park, larger than New York's Central Park, contains world-class museums like the National Museum of Anthropology, where you can see the famous Aztec calendar stone. The trendy neighborhoods of Roma Norte and Condesa offer tree-lined streets perfect for cafe hopping and boutique shopping. Don't miss the floating gardens of Xochimilco, where you can cruise on traditional trajanaras while mariachi bands serenade you. The Frida Kahlo Museum in Coyoacán provides intimate glimpses into the life of Mexico's most famous artist. Mexico City represents the perfect fusion of ancient wisdom and modern energy, where you can examine 500-year-old artifacts in the morning and enjoy world-class contemporary cuisine in the evening. It's a city that challenges your preconceptions and rewards your curiosity with layers of discovery that seem endless. Mérida, Yucatan. Welcome to Mérida, the elegant capital of Yucatan State, affectionately known as La Ciudad Blanca, or the White City. This enchanting colonial gem serves as your gateway to the mysterious world of the ancient Maya civilization. Mérida sits just 35 kilometers from the Gulf of Mexico coast in the northwestern part of the Yucatan Peninsula. The city enjoys a tropical climate with year-round warmth, though the best time to visit is during the dry season from November to April. The flat terrain of the Yucatan Peninsula means you're never far from incredible cenotes, natural sinkholes filled with crystal-clear freshwater that the Maya considered sacred. The culture of Mérida is deeply rooted in Maya traditions that have survived over 1,000 years. You'll notice this immediately in the local cuisine. Try cochinita pibil, slow-roasted pork, or sopa de lima, lime soup, dishes that trace their origins to ancient Maya recipes. The city comes alive every evening with free cultural events in the main plaza, where you can watch traditional Yucatecan dances and listen to trova music, a romantic ballad style unique to this region. Founded in 1542 by Spanish conquistador Francisco de Montijo on the site of the ancient Maya city of Tijo, Mérida became wealthy during the Henequen boom of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The green gold of Henequen fiber made Mérida one of the wealthiest cities in the Americas, which explains the stunning mansions along Paseo de Montijo that rival those of European capitals. The heart of Mérida is the Plaza Grande, surrounded by the imposing Cathedral of San Ildefonso, built with stones from Maya temples. The governor's palace showcases magnificent murals depicting Yucatecan history. Just 15 minutes from the city center, you can explore the Maya ruins of Tzibilchaltén, where the Temple of the Seven Dolls aligns perfectly with the sun during the spring and autumn equinoxes. The famous Chichen Itza, one of the new seven wonders of the world, is just a 90-minute drive away. Here, you'll witness the incredible El Castillo Pyramid, where the shadow of the feathered serpent god Kukulkan appears to descend the steps during the equinoxes. Don't miss the cenotes near Merida. Cenote Xlaca at Chalton offers a refreshing swim in sacred Maya waters, while Cenote Iqquil near Chichen Itza provides a cathedral-like swimming experience surrounded by hanging vines and tropical birds. Merida offers the perfect blend of colonial elegance and Maya mysticism, where every street corner holds secrets and every sunset brings new cultural discoveries. It's a city that slows down time and invites you to savor every moment. Oaxaca City. Step into Oaxaca City, and you'll find yourself in the cultural epicenter of indigenous Mexico, where ancient traditions aren't just preserved, they're lived, breathed, and celebrated every single day. This World Heritage City sits like a jewel in the mountains of southern Mexico. Oaxaca City rests at 1,555 meters above sea level in a valley surrounded by the Sierra Madre Mountains. This elevation creates a perfect year-round climate that locals call eternal spring. The city's position in the culturally rich state of Oaxaca puts you at the heart of Mexico's most diverse indigenous region, where 16 different ethnic groups maintain their languages, customs, and traditions.
I remember very well.
Oaxaca's culture is a living tapestry woven from indigenous Zapotec and Mixtec traditions, Spanish colonial influences, and contemporary Mexican creativity. The city is famous for its incredible handicrafts. You'll find intricate textiles woven on backstrap looms, black pottery from San Bartolo Coyotepec, and colorful alebrijes, painted wooden animals that have become symbols of Mexican folk art. The culinary scene in Oaxaca is legendary. This is where you'll taste the complex flavors of authentic mole, a sauce with over 20 ingredients that takes days to prepare. Don't miss trying chapulines, grasshoppers seasoned with garlic and lime, a pre-Hispanic delicacy that's surprisingly delicious. The Valley of Oaxaca has been continuously inhabited for over 2,500 years. The ancient Zapotec civilization built the incredible mountaintop city of Monte Alban around 500 BCE, creating one of Mesoamerica's earliest urban centers. After the Spanish conquest in 1522, Oaxaca became an important colonial city, which explains the stunning Baroque architecture you'll see throughout the historic center. The Zocalo main square is the heart of Oaxaca City, surrounded by colonial arcades perfect for people watching over coffee. The nearby Cathedral of Our Lady of the Assumption showcases stunning Baroque architecture. The Church of Santo Domingo, with its gold leaf interior and attached cultural center, houses an incredible collection of Zapotec artifacts, including treasures from Monte Alban. Speaking of Monte Alban, this ancient Zapotec capital sits just 10 kilometers from the city center. Standing on the Great Plaza, you'll have panoramic views of the valley below while exploring pyramids, ball courts, and tombs that predate Christ by centuries. The Mercado Benito Juarez overflows with local products, from mole pastes to hand-woven textiles, from mezcal, Oaxaca's answer to tequila, to chocolate prepared the way the Zapotecs did it centuries ago. For a truly magical experience, visit during the Day of the Dead celebrations in early November, when the entire city transforms into a celebration of life and death that UNESCO has recognized as a masterpiece of oral and intangible heritage of humanity. Oaxaca City teaches us that culture isn't something that belongs in museums. It's something that lives in the hands of artisans, the recipes of grandmothers, and the daily rhythms of communities that have thrived for millennia. Playa del Carmen. Welcome to Playa del Carmen, or Playa, as locals affectionately call it, a coastal paradise that has evolved from a small fishing village into the vibrant heart of Mexico's Caribbean coast. This is where turquoise waters meet white sand beaches, and where modern resort luxury coexists with ancient Maya wisdom. Playa del Carmen sits perfectly positioned along the Riviera Maya, just 68 kilometers south of Cancun. This stretch of coastline faces the Caribbean Sea, where the second largest coral reef in the world creates a natural barrier that keeps the waters calm and crystal clear. The town is built on flat, sandy terrain typical of the Yucatan Peninsula, with the jungle beginning just a few kilometers inland. The culture of Playa del Carmen is a fascinating blend of laid-back Caribbean lifestyle, Maya heritage, and international influences brought by visitors from around the world. The famous Fifth Avenue, Quinta Avenida, pedestrian walkway pulses with street performers, local artisans selling handmade crafts, and restaurants serving everything from traditional Yucatecan cuisine to international fusion dishes. You'll notice the Maya influence everywhere, from the cenotes scattered throughout the area to the traditional temazcal, sweat lodge ceremonies offered at many hotels. The local music scene blends Caribbean rhythms with traditional Mexican sounds, creating a unique atmosphere that's both relaxing and energizing. For centuries, this area was home to small Maya fishing communities who worshipped at the nearby coastal ruins of Xcaret and Zelha. The modern town of Playa del Carmen began developing in the 1960s when the ferry service to Cozumel Island started operating from here. The real transformation began in the 1990s when developers recognized the area's potential for tourism, leading to the creation of the Riviera Maya concept. The crown jewel of Playa del Carmen is undoubtedly its beaches, miles of powder-soft white sand lapped by waters so clear you can see tropical fish swimming near the shore. The main beach offers beach clubs, water sports, and stunning sunset views, while more secluded spots like Playa Car provide tranquil retreats. Just offshore, the island of Cozumel beckons with some of the world's best diving and snorkeling sites. The Palancar Reef and Santa Rosa Wall offer underwater adventures where you'll swim alongside sea turtles, eagle rays, and countless colorful fish species. The eco-archaeological parks near Playa del Carmen provide unique experiences. Xcaret combines nature, history, and culture with underground rivers, butterfly pavilions, and spectacular evening shows featuring pre-Hispanic dances. Zelha offers snorkeling in a natural aquarium where cenotes meet the sea. Don't miss the opportunity to swim in cenotes like Dos Ojos or Grand Cenote, where you can snorkel or dive in crystal-clear freshwater caves, adorned with stalactites and stalagmites formed over millions of years. For a dose of history, visit the coastal ruins of Tulum, just 45 minutes south, where Maya temples overlook the Caribbean Sea from dramatic cliff tops. Playa del Carmen represents the perfect balance between relaxation and adventure, where you can start your day swimming in a sacred cenote, spend your afternoon snorkeling over coral reefs, and end your evening dancing to live music under the stars. Guanajuato. Welcome to Guanajuato, a city that seems to defy gravity itself, where colorful colonial houses cascade down mountainsides like a painter's palette come to life. This World Heritage Site in central Mexico is a testament to the wealth and artistry of New Spain's Golden Age. Guanajuato sits at 2,012 meters above sea level in a narrow valley, surrounded by mountains in the state of the same name. The city's unique topography forced its builders to create a maze of underground tunnels that now serve as roadways, giving Guanajuato its nickname, La Ciudad Subterránea, the underground city. The surrounding mountains are honeycombed with silver mines that made this city one of the wealthiest in the Spanish Empire. The culture of Guanajuato is steeped in artistic tradition and academic excellence. The city is home to the prestigious University of Guanajuato, founded in 1732, which gives the city a youthful, intellectual energy. Every October, the city hosts the Festival International Cervantino, one of the most important cultural festivals in Latin America, where the streets become stages for world-class performances. The local tradition of estudiantinas, student musical groups, fills the narrow alleyways with serenades and folk songs, while the famous Callejonadas, walking tour with musicians, turn every evening into a spontaneous celebration of music and storytelling. Founded in 1559 as a silver mining town, Guanajuato became the source of 1/3 of the world's silver during the colonial period. The fabulous wealth from mines like La Valenciana allowed residents to build the stunning Baroque and neoclassical architecture you see today. The city played a crucial role in Mexico's independence movement. It was here in 1810 that Father Miguel Hidalgo launched the cry for independence that would eventually free Mexico from Spanish rule. The heart of Guanajuato is the Jardín de la Unión, a triangular plaza surrounded by cafes and the stunning Teatro Juarez, an opulent opera house that rivals those of European capitals. The nearby Basilica of Our Lady of Guanajuato houses the oldest Christian statue in Mexico, brought here by Spanish colonizers in 1557. The Museo de las Momias, Museum of the Mummies, offers a macabre but fascinating glimpse into the city's past, where naturally mummified bodies tell stories of 19th century life and death. For a more uplifting experience, visit the Diego Rivera Museum, housed in the artist's childhood home, where you can see early works by Mexico's most famous muralist. The view from the Monumento al Pipila provides breathtaking panoramas of the entire city, a sea of red tile roofs and colorful facades nestled in the valley below. Don't miss the Callejón del Beso, Alley of the Kiss, so narrow that legend says couples who kiss on the third step will have 7 years of happiness. The nearby mines of La Valenciana offer underground tour where you can experience the conditions that created this city's wealth, while the charming town of Dolores Hidalgo, the cradle of independence, sits just 54 kilometers away. Guanajuato teaches us that true beauty comes from the marriage of natural setting and human creativity. where every street corner reveals another architectural marvel, and every plaza echoes with centuries of music and laughter. Tulum. Tulum, a place where the mystical meets the magnificent, where ancient Maya temples stand as silent sentinels overlooking the turquoise waters of the Caribbean Sea. This coastal paradise in Quintana Roo represents the perfect harmony between historical significance and natural beauty. Tulum sits on a 12-meter-high cliff overlooking the Caribbean Sea, about 130 kilometers south of Cancun. The town is divided into three main areas: the archaeological site perched on the cliff, the Pueblo town, about 5 kilometers inland, and the beach hotel zone that stretches along the coast. The entire region is part of the Mesoamerican reef system, making it a paradise for snorkeling and diving enthusiasts. Tulum's culture is a unique fusion of ancient Maya spirituality, Bohemian international influences, and eco-conscious living. The town has attracted artists, healers, and spiritual seekers from around the world, creating a community that values sustainability, wellness, and connection with nature. You'll find yoga studios overlooking the ocean, temazcal ceremonies, and restaurants serving organic, locally sourced cuisine. The influence of the Maya remains strong here. Local guides share stories and legends passed down through generations, while many hotels and restaurants incorporate traditional Maya architectural elements and healing practices into their offerings. Tulum was one of the last cities inhabited by the Maya, flourishing from 1200 to 1521 CE. The city served as a major port for the Maya trade network, with canoes carrying goods like jade, obsidian, and cacao beans across the Caribbean. The Spanish conquistadors described seeing Tulum's temples gleaming white in the distance, earning it the name Tulum, which means wall in Maya. The city was strategically positioned to control maritime trade routes, and its thick walls protected it from both enemies and the hurricanes that regularly batter this coast. When the Spanish arrived, Tulum was still a thriving city, making it one of the few Maya sites that Europeans saw in its full glory. The crown jewel of Tulum is undoubtedly the archaeological site, where the Temple of the Frescoes showcases remarkable Maya murals depicting their creation myths and astronomical observations. The iconic El Castillo Temple, perched on the edge of the cliff, served as both a lighthouse and a temple, guiding Maya canoes safely through the reef. The beaches of Tulum are consistently ranked among the world's most beautiful Imagine powder-soft white sand beaches, fringed with coconut palms, where you can swim in crystal-clear waters while gazing up at ancient temples. The beach clubs and eco-hotels along this stretch practice sustainable tourism, using solar power, composting toilets, and locally sourced materials. The nearby Sian Can Biosphere Reserve, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, offers incredible wildlife viewing opportunities. You can spot crocodiles, manatees, and hundreds of bird species, while exploring mangrove channels and pristine beaches that few tourists ever see. The cenotes around Tulum provide some of the world's best freshwater diving experiences. Grand Cenote offers easy snorkeling among stalactites, while Dos Ojos provides more adventurous cave diving opportunities for certified divers. Tulum reminds us that some places on Earth seem almost too perfect to be real, where you can watch the sunrise over the Caribbean from an ancient Maya temple, spend your afternoon swimming in a sacred cenote, and end your day practicing yoga on the beach while listening to the waves crash against the shore. Guadalajara, Jalisco. Welcome to Guadalajara, Mexico's second largest city and the undisputed cultural capital of the country. This is where mariachi music was born, where tequila flows like water, and where Mexican traditions are not just preserved but celebrated with passion and pride. Guadalajara sits at 1,566 meters above sea level in the Atmajac Valley, surrounded by the Sierra Madre Occidental Mountains. The city enjoys a pleasant, subtropical highland climate with year-round spring-like temperatures. Located in the heart of Jalisco State, Guadalajara is strategically positioned as the gateway to Mexico's most iconic cultural experiences. From the tequila-producing regions of the surrounding countryside to the beaches of Puerto Vallarta, just 4 hours away. Guadalajara is known as the Pearl of the West and is considered the most traditionally Mexican of the country's major cities. This is where you'll experience the true soul of Mexican culture. Mariachi music originated here in the 19th century, and you can still hear authentic performances every night in the Plaza de los Mariachis. The city is also the birthplace of the Mexican hat dance, Jarab Tapatio and Chiriria, the traditional Mexican rodeo. The artistic legacy of Guadalajara is extraordinary. This is where muralist José Clement Orozco created some of his most powerful works, decorating the walls of the government palace and the Instituto Cultural Cabañas with dramatic scenes of Mexican history and social commentary. Founded in 1542 by Spanish conquistador Nuño Beltrán de Guzmán, Guadalajara quickly became the most important city in western Mexico. The city served as the capital of the Kingdom of Nueva Galicia and developed into a major commercial and cultural center. During the Mexican War of Independence, Guadalajara briefly served as the capital of the insurgent government, cementing its place in Mexican history. The historic center of Guadalajara is built around 4 beautiful plazas that form a cross pattern. The magnificent cathedral, with its iconic twin spires, dominates the main plaza and showcases a unique blend of Baroque, Gothic, and neoclassical architectural styles. The interior houses the remains of Saint Innocent, a gift from the Vatican. The Instituto Cultural Cabañas, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, houses Orozco's stunning murals, including the famous Man of Fire dome painting. The government palace features more of Orozco's work, including his dramatic interpretation of Miguel Hidalgo's call for independence. The nearby town of Tequila, just 65 kilometers away, offers tour of the distilleries where Mexico's national drink is produced. You can ride the Tequila Express train through the blue agave fields while learning about the traditional production process. Tlaquepaque, now a suburb of Guadalajara, maintains its colonial charm and is famous for its handicrafts, particularly ceramics and blown glass. The tree-lined streets are perfect for browsing galleries and enjoying traditional Mexican cuisine. Don't miss the Mercado San Juan de Dios, one of the largest covered markets in Latin America, where you can find everything from leather goods to traditional Mexican candy, from sombreros to hand-woven textiles. Guadalajara embodies the essence of Mexican identity, where tradition isn't just remembered but lived, where every street corner might burst into song, and where the warmth of the people matches the warmth of the climate. Puerto Vallarta. This is Puerto Vallarta, nestled in the state of Jalisco on Mexico's Pacific coast, approximately 300 miles west of Guadalajara. The city sits at the perfect geographical sweet spot, where tropical meets temperate, where ocean meets mountain, where desert meets jungle. The Banderas Bay, one of the largest natural bays in Mexico, cradles the city like a protective embrace. This bay is so vast it stretches across two states, Jalisco and Nayarit, creating a natural amphitheater that has captivated visitors for generations. The geography here isn't just beautiful, it's functional. The mountains create a natural barrier that protects the city from harsh weather, while the bay provides a perfect harbor. The Rio Cuil cuts through the heart of the city, creating a lush green corridor that offers respite from the tropical heat. This river, though small, has been the lifeblood of the region for centuries, providing fresh water and fertile soil for agriculture. Long before this became a playground for Hollywood stars and international travelers, this land was home to indigenous peoples who understood its magic. The Aztlan people were the first to recognize the bay's potential, establishing settlements along the coast around 600 CE. They were skilled fishermen and traders, using the bay as a launching point for expeditions up and down the Pacific coast. When the Spanish arrived in the 16th century, they brought their own cultural influences. But rather than replacing the indigenous culture, something beautiful happened, a mestiçage, or mixing, that created something entirely new. You can taste this fusion in the local cuisine, where pre-Hispanic ingredients like cacao, vanilla, and chilies blend with Spanish techniques and ingredients. Today, Puerto Vallarta's culture is a living celebration. Walk through the downtown area, and you'll hear mariachi music floating from restaurants. See local artisans creating beautiful Huical artwork, and witness the daily ritual of families gathering at the Malecon to watch the sunset. This isn't culture preserved in museums, it's culture alive in the streets. The history of Puerto Vallarta reads like an adventure novel, full of pirates, hidden treasures, and dramatic transformations. The area was originally called Puerto de Peñas, Port of Rocks, by early Spanish explorers, a name that described the rocky coastline that made navigation challenging, but also provided natural protection. For centuries, this remained a sleepy fishing village, known mainly to local fishermen and the occasional trader. The real transformation began in 1851 when Guadalupe Sánchez founded the modern town, naming it after Ignacio Vallarta, a governor of Jalisco. The town grew slowly, sustained by fishing, small-scale agriculture, and the occasional ship stopping for supplies. The pivotal moment came in 1963 with the filming of The Night of the Iguana. Suddenly, the world discovered Puerto Vallarta's beauty. But here's what makes this story special. The town didn't just surrender to tourism. Instead, the community made conscious decisions about how to grow and develop. They established regulations to preserve the colonial architecture, protected the natural environment, and ensured that development enhanced rather than destroyed the town's character. Today, Puerto Vallarta represents one of Mexico's most successful examples of sustainable tourism development. The city has managed to become internationally renowned while maintaining its Mexican soul, growing economically while preserving its environment, and welcoming the world while honoring its roots. Puerto Vallarta's most iconic destinations, each one telling a story of natural beauty, cultural richness, and human creativity. First, we must visit the Malecón, the heart and soul of Puerto Vallarta. This mile-long boardwalk isn't just a walkway, it's a living gallery, a cultural center, and a community gathering place all rolled into one. As you stroll along the Malecón, you'll encounter incredible bronze sculptures that tell the story of Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. The Seahorse, by Rafael Zamrapa, celebrates the marine life of Banderas Bay, while In Search of Reason by Sergio Bustamante invites philosophical contemplation. Each sculpture has been placed with intention, creating a narrative that unfolds as you walk. The Church of Our Lady of Guadalupe stands as the spiritual and architectural centerpiece of the old town. This beautiful church, topped with a distinctive crown that replicates the one worn by Carlota, the wife of Emperor Maximilian, represents the deep Catholic faith that permeates Mexican culture. The church isn't just a building, it's a living testament to the community's spiritual life, hosting everything from daily masses to elaborate festivals. The beaches of Puerto Vallarta each have their own personality. Playa de los Muertos, Beach of the Dead. Don't let the name scare you, it's actually quite lively. Serves as the main beach for locals and tourists alike. The beach got its name from an ancient indigenous burial ground, but today it's full of life, with beach vendors, restaurants, and the famous pier that's become an Instagram favorite. Puerto Vallarta masterfully combines natural beauty with cultural richness, offering visitors a perfect blend of beach relaxation, mountain adventure, and authentic Mexican culture. From its protected bay setting to its vibrant art scene, from its indigenous roots to its modern hospitality, Puerto Vallarta provides an experience that satisfies every type of traveler while maintaining its genuine Mexican character. Puebla. Welcome to Puebla, a city whose very location tells a story of strategic genius and natural beauty. Situated in the heart of Mexico, approximately 80 miles southeast of Mexico City, Puebla sits in a high valley surrounded by some of Mexico's most spectacular volcanic peaks. At an elevation of 7,200 feet above sea level, this city enjoys a perfect climate year-round. Never too hot, never too cold, but always invigorating. The city's position in the Puebla Valley, flanked by the Sierra Nevada and Sierra Madre Oriental mountain ranges, made it a natural crossroads for trade and communication between the coast and the interior. This wasn't accidental. Spanish colonizers chose this location specifically for its strategic advantages. The valley provides fertile soil for agriculture. The elevation offers protection from tropical diseases, and the location serves as a perfect stopping point between the port of Veracruz and Mexico City. But what truly makes Puebla's geography spectacular are the volcanoes. To the west, the majestic Popocatépetl and Iztaccíhuatl volcanoes dominate the horizon, their snow-capped peaks visible on clear days. These aren't just beautiful landmarks, they're active geological features that have shaped the region's soil composition, creating some of the most fertile agricultural land in Mexico. Puebla's cultural identity is perhaps the most fascinating fusion of indigenous and Spanish influences in all of Mexico. The city was founded in 1531 by Spanish colonizers who, according to legend, were guided by angels to choose this perfect location, hence Puebla's nickname, Puebla de los Angels, City of Angels. But this divine intervention story, while charming, masks a more complex cultural reality. Before the Spanish arrival, this valley was inhabited by various indigenous groups, including the Almacazicalanca, Totonacs, and later the Aztecs. These cultures had already established sophisticated agricultural systems, trade networks, and artistic traditions. When the Spanish established Puebla, they didn't just impose their culture. They created something entirely new through interaction with indigenous peoples. This cultural mixing is most evident in Puebla's incredible culinary tradition. Here, indigenous ingredients like cacao, turkey, and local chilies combined with Spanish techniques and ingredients to create dishes that are now considered quintessentially Mexican. Mole poblano, perhaps Mexico's most famous dish, was invented here in the 17th century by the nuns of the convent of Santa Rosa. This complex sauce, containing over 20 ingredients, represents the perfect marriage of indigenous and Spanish culinary traditions. The history of Puebla is a story of ambition, innovation, and resilience. Founded as a planned city in 1531, Puebla was designed to be a model Spanish colonial settlement. Unlike many colonial cities that grew organically around existing indigenous settlements, Puebla was built from scratch according to Spanish urban planning principles, with a central plaza, grid street pattern, and designated areas for different functions. The city's early economy was based on agriculture, taking advantage of the fertile volcanic soil and abundant water supply. Wheat, introduced by the Spanish, grew exceptionally well here, making Puebla the breadbasket of New Spain. But the colonizers and local entrepreneurs didn't stop there. They developed textile production, pottery making, and other crafts that would make Puebla famous throughout the Spanish Empire. The 17th and 18th centuries marked Puebla's golden age. The city became one of the most important economic centers in New Spain, second only to Mexico City. The wealth generated during this period is still visible today in the hundreds of beautiful colonial buildings that grace the city center. Churches, convents, and palatial homes were built with such quality and artistry that they've survived for centuries. The modern era brought industrialization to Puebla. The city became a major manufacturing center, particularly for textiles and later for automotive production. Today, major international companies have facilities here, making Puebla one of Mexico's most important industrial cities while maintaining its colonial charm and cultural heritage. The Puebla Cathedral is nothing short of architectural poetry. Construction began in 1575 and took nearly a century to complete, resulting in a masterpiece that combines Renaissance, Baroque, and neoclassical elements. The cathedral's towers, at 226 feet tall, were the highest in Mexico when completed. Inside, the main altar designed by Manuel Tulsa is considered one of the finest examples of neoclassical religious art in the Americas. The Amparo Museum offers a journey through 3,000 years of Mexican history and art. Housed in two beautifully restored colonial buildings, the museum's collection spans from pre-Columbian artifacts to contemporary art. The museum's innovative displays help visitors understand how different cultures have influenced Mexican artistic development. Puebla represents the perfect fusion of indigenous and Spanish colonial cultures, resulting in a city that's both historically significant and vibrantly alive. From its strategic mountain valley location to its role as the birthplace of Mexican cuisine, from its stunning Baroque architecture to its thriving modern economy, Puebla offers visitors an authentic taste of Mexican culture at its most sophisticated and delicious. San Cristóbal de las Casas. San Cristóbal de las Casas, nestled high in the mountains of Chiapas at 7,200 feet above sea level. This enchanting colonial city sits in a valley surrounded by pine forests and indigenous villages, creating a landscape that seems almost European, but is unmistakably Mexican. The city's location in the Chiapas highlands is both geographically and culturally significant. These mountains form part of the Sierra Madre de Chiapas, a range that extends into Guatemala and represents one of Mexico's most biodiverse regions. The high altitude creates a unique climate, cool and crisp, with misty mornings and comfortable afternoons, a refreshing contrast to the tropical heat found elsewhere in Mexico. What makes this location truly special is its position at the intersection of different ecosystems. Within a short distance, you can experience cloud forests, pine forests, and subtropical valleys. This diversity has created one of Mexico's most important biodiversity hotspots, home to species found nowhere else on Earth. The geographical isolation of San Cristóbal has also served as a protective factor for indigenous cultures. The mountains have historically provided refuge for Maya communities seeking to maintain their traditional ways of life, creating a cultural landscape that's remarkably well preserved compared to other parts of Mexico. San Cristóbal de las Casas offers visitors a unique window into living indigenous culture. Unlike many destinations where indigenous heritage is preserved primarily in museums, here you encounter vibrant Maya communities that have maintained their languages, traditions, and worldview for over 1,000 years. The region is home to several distinct Maya groups, including the Tzotzil, Tzeltal, Chal, and Tajalabal peoples. Each group has its own language, traditional dress, customs, and spiritual practices. What's remarkable is how these communities have adapted to modern times while maintaining their cultural core. You'll see indigenous women wearing traditional huipiles, embroidered blouses, while using smartphones, and men who combine traditional farming methods with modern techniques. The cultural landscape of San Cristóbal reflects this indigenous presence in profound ways. The city's markets burst with products from indigenous communities, textiles woven on traditional looms, pottery made using pre-Hispanic techniques, and foods prepared according to ancient recipes. The Sunday market in particular is a feast for the senses, where you can hear multiple Maya languages being spoken, while vendors sell everything from traditional medicines to hand-woven textiles. The spiritual life of the region is particularly fascinating. While most indigenous people are nominally Catholic, they've created a unique synthesis of Catholic and Maya beliefs. Churches here serve not just as Catholic worship spaces, but as centers for indigenous religious practices that blend pre-Hispanic and Christian elements. The ceremonies and festivals throughout the year offer visitors respectful glimpses into this living spirituality. The history of San Cristóbal de las Casas is a complex story of colonization, resistance, and cultural survival. The city was founded in 1528 by Spanish Captain Diego de Mazariegos, who named it Villa Real de Chiapa. Later, it was renamed San Cristóbal de las Casas in honor of Bartolomé de las Casas, the Spanish priest who defended indigenous rights during the colonial period. The colonial period in San Cristóbal was marked by the establishment of a rigid social hierarchy that placed Spanish-born colonizers at the top, followed by Criollos, Mexican-born of Spanish descent, Mestizos, mixed Spanish and indigenous people at the bottom. This social structure, unfortunately, persisted long after Mexican independence and continues to influence social relations today. The 19th and early 20th centuries saw San Cristóbal become increasingly isolated as transportation networks developed around other cities. This isolation, while economically challenging, helped preserve both the colonial architecture and indigenous cultures. The city remained relatively unchanged until the mid-20th century, when improved transportation and growing interest in indigenous cultures began to attract visitors. Today, San Cristóbal is experiencing a renaissance as a cultural and tourist destination. The city has managed to preserve its colonial charm while becoming more accessible to visitors. More importantly, there's a growing recognition of the value of indigenous cultures, leading to increased support for indigenous artisans, writers, and cultural practitioners. This beautiful central plaza, surrounded by colonial arcades and anchored by the cathedral, comes alive every evening as locals gather to socialize. Street vendors sell traditional foods, and musicians perform. The Church of Santo Domingo offers one of the most striking examples of Baroque architecture in Mexico. The church's pink stone facade is covered with intricate carvings that tell biblical stories through indigenous artistic sensibilities. Adjacent to the church, the Templo de la Caridad market provides an authentic shopping experience where you can purchase textiles, pottery, and other crafts directly from indigenous artisans. The nearby villages of San Juan Chamula and Zinacantan provide extraordinary opportunities to experience living indigenous culture. In San Juan Chamula, visitors can observe unique religious ceremonies that blend Catholic and Maya traditions in ways found nowhere else in Mexico. The church here, where pine needles cover the floor and candles create a mystical atmosphere, offers a glimpse into a spiritual world that has persisted for centuries. San Cristóbal de las Casas provides an unparalleled opportunity to experience living indigenous culture within a beautifully preserved colonial setting. From its misty mountain location to its vibrant markets, from its Baroque churches to its indigenous villages, San Cristóbal offers visitors a chance to understand the depth and richness of Mexican cultural diversity, while supporting indigenous communities who maintain these traditions. As our journey through these 10 magical destinations comes to an end, I want you to take a moment to reflect on what we've discovered together. From the bustling streets of Mexico City to the pristine beaches of Tulum, from the colonial elegance of Guanajuato to the cultural richness of Oaxaca, Mexico has shown us that true beauty lies not just in places, but in the stories they tell and the people who bring them to life. The pristine beaches of Playa del Carmen remind us to find balance between adventure and relaxation, while Guanajuato's colorful hillside houses teach us that beauty often comes from embracing our natural limitations and turning them into strengths. Tulum shows us that the most profound experiences happen when we connect with something greater than ourselves, and Guadalajara proves that maintaining our cultural identity while embracing change is not just possible but essential. Now I have some important questions for you. Which of these 10 destinations spoke to your soul? What kind of traveler are you? Are you drawn to the historical depths of ancient civilizations, the natural beauty of pristine beaches, or the cultural richness of traditional communities? More importantly, how will you apply the lessons of Mexican hospitality, cultural pride, and environmental stewardship to your own life? Your adventure awaits, and I genuinely hope that these 10 magical destinations bring you as much joy, wonder, and personal growth as they have brought to countless travelers before you. Mexico is a country that doesn't just welcome visitors, it transforms them. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you'll be the first to know about our next incredible destination. Until we meet again on another adventure, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep growing. Buen voyage.